What is your name?
So my name is Andy and I'm a Fruit and Veg Man community partner.
Where do you operate?
So I live in Leighton Buzzard. So I cover Leighton Buzzard and the main towns surrounding it. So that's Hemel Hempstead, Aylesbury, Milton Keynes, Dunstable, and a few in between.
How long have you been doing it?
So I was the first Fruit and Veg Man community partner. So I've been doing it will be 5 years in September.
What appealed to you the most about the Fruit and Veg Man?
A few things really. For me, it was quite unusual times to be starting because it was during the COVID pandemic. So it was something that I could do immediately because you were still allowed to deliver food and people still needed food. I also really liked the community angle, working with local businesses, local residents, and of course working with a really important local hospice charity as well.
What is your background?
So before doing this, I'd been in sales and marketing and business development roles of various sorts, pretty much all my working life. My first job, which was in a fruit and veg shop. So this allows me to mix all of that together.
Did you look at other franchises before becoming a Fruit and Veg Man community partner?
Yeah, I did. And I, for a short time, was involved in one that was a charity sweets franchise, which didn't work because of COVID, really. COVID made that almost impossible to carry on. So I needed to find something as an alternative.
What made you decide to become a Fruit and Veg Man community partner?
So a number of things. I think I really liked the ethos of the business and the plan to grow it and make it into what it is today. And particularly like the idea of being able to be my own boss and do something that was both generate income for me, but also get me out there and be involved in giving back to the community at the same time.
What happens on an average day for you?
So an average day for me would involve first almost starts the day before, actually, which is when I get my orders in from my customers. I have some customers that have the same thing every day, the same every week. And then I have customers that order ad hoc, depending on what they need. So I will get my orders. I then place my order with my suppliers that the Fruit and Veg Man franchise have helped me find. And then on the morning of the day that the customers need their delivery, I will go down to the market bright and early, about 4 o'clock, 4:30. I go to the market, pick up everything that I need, check it all over, make sure it's up to the standard that we need. And then I usually drive back home, pack all my orders together, again, still fairly early in the morning, and then go out and deliver to the customers that I have in my local area. Try and do that as quickly and efficiently as possible, and usually finish around lunchtime most days.
What training does the Fruit and Veg Man provide?
So the Fruit and Veg Man, training-wise, is fantastic, really. I think just about every aspect that you could look for, because they've been through this period of sort of building everything up, making the mistakes that we might all make ourselves. Having already done that for us, there's a huge amount of learning that we can tap into. So particularly on the sales and marketing side, got some fantastic people that they work with that they can pair you up with to help you get out there promoting your brand, finding new customers, plus as well, of course, all the training that you'd expect in terms of products. They've got a great feel for suppliers, what makes a good supplier, good product. So they give you a head start in all of those things, and they're there to support you at any stage, whether you're just starting out or if something new crops up a couple of years into it.
How much support do you get from head office?
Yeah, lots of support, really, in terms of advice on just about everything. I think the thing I find most invaluable is just the ability or the facility to have a chat with others. So although you're self-employed and you're running your own business, you're not completely isolated as you could be if you were doing that without the franchise structure around you. So there's team meetings, a really good relationship with the franchisor, and all of those things help you deal with the challenges that crop up, as well as sharing ideas on how things can maybe improve, and we can, help each other out as well. So it's a good support overall.
What advantages have you found being the Fruit and Veg Man community partner?
So for me, I've gone from being in COVID lockdown and on universal credit because the business I was in before was too young to receive any furlough or anything like that, to living very comfortably, not having to worry about money. And I've done that in less than 4 years. It probably took me 2.5 to 3 years to get to that point doing this. And I think a new franchisee would probably get there a lot quicker now that there's so much more in place for them. And so that's obviously priority number one, is being able to make a living. And it's done that. Later on, it's also given me the ability to move things around, to live my life the way I want to. So I get to spend time with my partner, I get time to spend with my daughter, and I can shape the working week to suit me. So I have that work-life balance that we hear so much about, but I've actually got it in reality. Those are the two biggest biggest things for me.
What's the biggest strength for the brand today?
Biggest strength for the brand today, I think there's a number of things really. I mean, one is the quality of the product is something that we really do focus on. That's not the bit that makes us unique, although it does put us in a minority. The bit that really stands the brand out from everybody else really is the focus on really, really good service, really good communication, making customers feel really special, and making sure that we have relationships, not just transactional dealings with our customers and our suppliers and people that we have contracts with. To us, that's the most important thing, almost as important, if not on a level with the quality of the product as well.
What are your thoughts on the support you get from marketing and sales?
The support that we get on marketing and sales is fantastic. We've now got to the point where we've got a very, very experienced sales consultant working with the business, and she's there to mentor and help people grow their business and identify their own sort of strengths and weaknesses and help them develop if they need to, because sales isn't something that everybody's taken to naturally. And so she's able to help sort of bridge that gap if there is one. We've also got partners who can work with us for telesales, telemarketing, lead generation. So really all the bits that you would normally as a new business need to try and figure out for yourself to build is already in place. Plus, the website's very good. We've got great reviews online. Social media's already set up. So you really begin with a head start in the business. But also speaking as an experienced community partner, 4 years on, if I've had a situation where customers have changed, I may have lost a customer because they've been taken over or merged with another organisation, which happened to me recently, I can tap into these resources as well to help get back to a position I was in.
What is your experience on working with the national contracts that we have?
So the national contracts we have, I think we're very lucky because there's a few of them, and they've obviously, one of the benefits of working with them is it's relatively stable business, and they've done the selling for you really. So all you have to do is the easy bit, which is fulfill the customer's requirements. The only thing I would say about national contracts is that obviously they're a nice to have, they're not a guarantee. You have to still generate your own business. And if you happen to be in an area or they happen to find work in your area, that's a real added bonus on top. But yeah, no, they're very good, and they certainly open the door to places that you might not be able to get into, particularly things like care homes, where a lot of them have got national agreements. So they wouldn't normally talk to a small independent supplier like you.
What time do you start and what time do you finish on a typical day?
So on a typical day, I would probably leave home around 4:30 in the morning and finish around lunchtime.
How flexible do you find being the Fruit and Veg Man community partner?
It's very flexible, really. Obviously, at the end of the day, although you don't have a boss per se, your customers are your boss. So you do have to kind of fit in with them to a point. So particularly things like a Monday, beginning of the week, everybody wants their fruit and veg at the beginning of the week. And at the end of the week, they also want it for the weekend as well. So there is some rigidity around that. But generally speaking, otherwise, you can really mold the week to suit you once you've got enough customers and good relationships up to be able to make it fit around what you want to do. So yeah, lots of flexibility. Obviously, you have to accept that the customer has certain requirements, but it's certainly more flexible than a 9-to-5 type living.
What are your opinions on the ability to scale the business?
I would say with this business, and the beautiful thing about it really is the sky's the limit. There's no real restriction on how big you could grow if you wanted to. In terms of the amount of potential for business, as in customers that's out there, it's huge. There's so many potential for office boxes, for residential customers, for business-to-business customers. And even if your territory isn't very big, the number of possible customers that will be within that catchment area will be huge. So yeah, certainly once you reach a point where you've filled your own capacity, there's then without a doubt room for you to take on additional staff, turn it into more of a management franchisee model. And there's no reason why you couldn't keep doing that to, a factor of 10 if you wanted to really build it up. The important thing is to build the foundation in the first place for yourself, and then you can start to exploit the capacity that you don't have personally.
And just finally, what advice do you have for anyone thinking about becoming the Fruit and Veg Man community partner?
So advice, I would say, and this probably is almost regardless of whether it's a community partner for Fruit and Veg Man or any other thing, any other type of franchise or business, is just recognize that at the beginning, you really do have to throw yourself into it, give it 100%. To be in the position that I'm in now, where I'm working flexible hours, working 4 days a week and earning a good living, took me say 2.5, 3 years of real hard slog, saying yes to everything and doing absolutely everything to earn the right from my customers to then make it a flexible living the way it is now. So I think you've got to understand that you're buying a head start when you buy a franchise. You're buying a huge advantage over many fruit and veg companies that already exist, but certainly a massive advantage over doing it yourself without the franchise behind you. But you need to understand that it's still hard work. It's still hard work. But the good thing about it is it's very straightforward work. Customer asks you for something, you go and find it, and then you deliver it to them. It's as simple as that. It's just working hard, working smart, but also, enjoy it. It's a very rewarding job.
And it's right to say that anyone starting could potentially get to the flexibility and income that it took you 3 to 4 years because you started from the beginning. But for a franchisee coming in tomorrow, for example, they could have that within 6 months.
Yeah. Well, we've seen one person do it already just recently. So yeah, without a doubt, I think the fact is when I was starting out, we were doing everything we were doing for the first time. Whereas now we're doing things that we've honed and fine-tuned, and it's a well-oiled machine in almost every aspect. So yeah, the potential to grow your business and for you, and then grow it beyond you, you can do it a lot quicker than I did.